Emily, what do you have wrapped around your neck?
I lost. I'm like trying to minimize all my other blanket though.
Oh.
Our house doesn't have central air, so we have like air conditioners in certain rooms. Not in this room right now, but I was just in the room with the air conditioner, and that's freezing. But then like you walk out here and it's humid and hot because it's like a
Right
sunroom area. And then like the upstairs is roasting because we don't have air upstairs. So this house is just like weird with getting used to it. I'm just not used to the humidity. Oh my god. It's been 8 weeks that I've been here and I'm still not used to it. All right, I'll give everyone a minute to on. While we're waiting, how's everyone liking Morning Meltdown?
Great.
I did day 2 today and I felt so lame. I'm like, I can do flies with more weight than this, but not this fast. I like could not hold 12-pound weights today at all to save my life.
I've been using lighter weights too the whole time because it's the speed of it is definitely need lighter weights, but I love it.
Me too. It's awesome. It's so much fun. And so Emily knows this, I've done 80-day session 3 times, I think, at this point. And I really obviously love that program, but it's so time consuming and these workouts are so quick and they're so much fun.
The fact that we're all still struggling in some sort of way with it is a good thing because it's showing us that we still have room to improve in so many areas. And like, who wants to work out that you leave being like, oh, that was really easy. We want to do it. We want to keep coming back. And I love that some of these, I'm like, holy, like, what is going on? And then some of the days I want to double up because like, I know Jay and I have been doing them together in the mornings. And I think Jay tomorrow will have, what is it? And then we'll probably double up with the core. Because when we did the core last week, the core day, we were like, oh, we don't want to do just that one. Like we should double up with the other one. So I'm loving the flexibility of it. Of okay, if you miss a day, you miss a day. It's not day 1 to day 100. It's workout 1, and then if you want to double up a day, if you want to whatever. So we're loving it. I'm excited about it. And the music, guys, if you have not done the option where you can go into settings, Sam's like, yes. The option where you can go into settings and change it to the pump up music, and Jay and I connect our Bluetooth speaker. And we are just like rocking out in the morning. We're like, we go to the campus. So we're like, the students are going to be back soon. And we're not going to be able to like blast the music because I don't think a bunch of like freshmen Penn State students would be very happy with us blaring music outside of their dorm rooms at 5:15 in the morning. But it is so fun when you get the music up that loud and just rock out. It's been fun. But all right, we will get started. Courtney and Hannah, show me your beautiful faces. What are you guys doing? I will call you out on these calls, and you guys know that. Hi, Rory.
Hi. I just wanted to add on to the Morning Meltdown discussion. So I'm training for a half marathon while I'm doing Morning Meltdown, and on the days that I don't run, I do a double Morning Meltdown workout, and so on the days I do, I have like, I really like the flexibility of it too. And so I ended up doing kind of I planned it out, so I'm gonna have it done in about 60 days. But I like having the variety. And I think too, like what makes it different even on the double up days is like I do a 30-minute block and then like I switch to another workout. So it makes it seem like it goes by faster instead of just like an hour of the same type of routine. So that's what I'm liking.
And it's probably really good. I mean, it's kind of meant to be, when I heard Jericho talk on one of her calls, is like almost like a cross-training program. Like it's perfect for someone running and training for a race. Like it is a really good, only 20 to 30 minutes cross-training, which being a former runner and with a lot of runners on the call, like you guys know, as runners, before we started Beachbody, we didn't really cross-train as much as we should have. So this is really to market to other athletes and everything as well. All right, so guys, I have the prettiest set of slides for you tonight. Like, just wait until you see them. Let's pull it up. All right, they're so pretty. They're like the ugliest slides ever, but I don't care because all I wanted was talking points. Let me play these. So pretty, I told you. Guys, this is, if anything, like true example of you don't need to have your crap together and you can be hot mess expresses and still run awesome businesses and have your PowerPoint presentations look like this. So that's just my intro slide. Oh, come on. Okay, click. So the first thing I want to talk about, I'm going to just go through some basic things on this call because this is kind of our first like just Team Exceed the Dream call since Summit. I mean, I know I wasn't on a couple with the honeymoon being right after Summit, but I'm really pumped up for everyone that's on this call. So thank you, Juan, for making this call a priority. I know you hear this from us a lot, but really making these, and we're going to talk about a possible time change for the call at the end of this, but just making these a priority, like showing up to these calls like it's your job. Like Hannah would have a meeting with the principal, she would not miss that. Or Jessie would have a meeting with her manager at her store. You can't miss these things. If you really want to grow this business, these calls really do need to be a priority. And being on them live, you guys know, and just being in person and everything is so much different than watching the recording. And I know life comes up and like, I just was not on because of our honeymoon, and that happens. That's a huge life event. But other things, really try to put this in your calendar and make this a priority for your business, because we're going to start getting some really, really good guest speakers as well. And just the power of their stories and hearing it in person and getting to ask questions is so powerful. And a lot of you probably don't know this, but when I first started, I didn't have team calls to get on. Like my upline coach didn't host team calls, and her upline coach didn't host team calls, and her upline coach maybe hosted a call every other, like once a month while I was at work. So like, this is something that I was always like, you know what, when I have a team, I'm going to have team calls. Even before I had a team, I was an Emerald coach, and I was like, I'm going to have team calls for my team. And sometimes it was just me that showed up, but I always made that promise to show up because I want you guys to succeed. I want you to have information. I want us to be a team and a community. And I always promise to do this, even if no one showed up. But I really appreciate when you guys do show up and want to grow your business, because that's what I'm here to help you do. I was going to say something else with that. No, I remember. So we'll go on to the next slide. But, oh, team-wise, our team is like rocking it right now. Just within our virtual gym and our challenge tracker app, the momentum is amazing. Hannah's been adding a lot of people in. Rachel's been adding a lot of people in. And then I know like Courtney and Jessie and Sarah are running, and Jay, I think, is all running their own groups. So that's amazing as well. Eventually you'll all be running your own groups. But right now the momentum that we have and the energy, that's what makes people want to join. And same with our team. Like the momentum we have on our team, the energy we have on our team after Summit, I cannot express to you guys enough from my own personal journey in this business and my own experiences that this business literally comes down to your energy. Like I have had seasons in my business where my energy was amazing, and I would, yes, you have to do your actions and your 4 vitals and your Success Club system tracker, but if your energy is not behind it, that's what makes the difference. Because I've had seasons of life where I was doing the exact same number of invites, exact same number of new connections, because I track that stuff every single week. And my numbers were way lower than they were at another point. And it all came down to my energy. I was going through a lot of personal life things of really bad anxiety and really bad depression that I wasn't quite ready to share yet. But like just that negativity, not negativity, like I couldn't control it. I didn't wish for it or want it, but just energy wise. And when our team is excited and when we're motivating each other and when we're supporting each other and when we're on these team calls, like life really comes down to connections, guys, connections and relationships. And like, that is truly what life is about. Like, I'm not really sure what life would be like without family or friendships or significant others. Like, if we were all just fending for ourselves all the time, that would be pretty boring. And sure, we could deal with a lot of the negative, deal without a lot of the negative people. But when we have people like this and people who are excited every day and people who are literally coming to show up as the best version of themselves and work on bettering themselves every day to help others do the same, like, we seriously have the best job in the world. So with all of that, tonight I want to talk about goals, your own individual goals, and I want you all to take notes. So go ahead and take a second to grab a piece of paper, a pencil, if you want your iPad, whatever you want to take notes on, but also be looking up every now and then. I love getting head nods, or you guys can unmute yourself like and talk. I don't care. Like, I want this to be interactive. I want we probably won't go through to have each person say their goals, but I do want you to be writing them down because we're going to go through some different levels of goals. And I just want you guys to see what's possible. Hi, Emily. I saw you jumped on. Show us your pretty face when you get a chance. Emily made a good vulnerable post today. So shout out to you, Emily, for doing that about her move too. So grab your paper and we're going to go through your whys, because if you've done a Getting Started Right call with me pretty much ever or recently, a lot of times I start my first new coach calls with the question. I know Courtney was just on one and Steph was just on one. I start the call with the question, if you had no time or financial constraints in your life, what would the perfect day look like for you? And a lot of people will come on my call, on the first call, and say, well, I would wake up, I would do my workout, I would go to work, I would come home, and I'm like, if you really had no time or financial constraints ever, if you love your job, that's great, but would you still want to go to work? Like, what would your perfect day look like? Just jot some notes on that really quick. It doesn't need to be in detail, but if you haven't done that, take time after this call or tomorrow morning and just sit on it and journal and meditate on what would that perfect day look like for me. Like, for me personally, I would still wake up early. Even though I hate that alarm, I would not be waking up at 4:30 like I am right now, probably 5 or 5:30. But I would still wake up early because I enjoy those mornings. I enjoy when I feel like I'm up before the rest of the world and really having that quiet time in the morning and doing my workout because I love it and it makes me feel good. And I will do an hour or two of coaching work. I love this work. Like, being on our honeymoon when I didn't work at all really made me realize, like, I would do this work even if it wasn't paid, even if it wasn't a job, because I love it. Like, I missed doing the daily check-ins on the Challenge Tracker app. I missed checking into Voxer, and that's what really you would see what this community is. I would go for a hike in the mountains and we would have a picnic and eat lunch, and I'd go home and with all of our family around, extended family, and we would grill and we would play board games and hang outside and be by a fire, like literally just spending time with people that I love. So keep thinking of what would those be for you. And as you're jotting them down, just a reminder that this business is really special and can give you that someday, if that's what your goal is. Maybe you have on there that you would still be teaching or you would still be working your job because that fulfills you in a different way. That is 100% totally fine. But just realize that maybe it's that you travel 6 times a year. Maybe it's you travel once a month. Like, whatever those goals are for you, this business can give that. I saw a stat the other day, and I don't want to misquote it, but there's some stat out there that like 80% of 6-figure earning women in America do it through network marketing. That's a pretty cool stat. So 80% of women in, I think it was America, maybe it was all over the world, again, not exact numbers, who earn over $100,000 a year do it through network marketing. That's pretty dang cool. And that's stuff that we can talk about, and that's stuff that we need to show more too, to show, look at this opportunity I have that goes along with getting in the healthiest, best version of yourself life. So we're starting with that. And then we're going to look at this Road to Elite map. And this is new this year. for those of you guys that aren't new, you don't need to, or that are new, you don't need to worry about it. But I love this map because, and there's a whole video on it. I attached it in my slideshow, so I'll send it to you guys afterwards. But this, no matter what, if your goal is elite, here's the roadmap to get there. If your goal is premier, here's the roadmap to get here. Either way, you need to hit all these marks along the way. And we all start back at the beginning of the road every year. So there's team builder, team leader, premier, and elite. And instead of just being like, okay, I want this goal and why, or I just want this goal, I want you to think of the why behind it. So there's average income for each rank, but it's so widespread because a coach can earn so differently as a diamond, as a new coach, as a diamond who's been in for 6 years, as a diamond who has a lot of volume. Like, they're so different. But like, let's just say, I'll give you guys some number examples from my own experience, at least, so you can start to get some idea here. But team builder is diamond. Guys, diamond is a stepping stone. We're going to talk about diamond at the end of this call. We're going to talk about the next retreat. But just like emerald is a decision, emerald is helping 2 people. Emerald is a decision that you can make within 24 hours and hit emerald and help 2 people. Diamond is also a decision. I really want to stop having diamond be this big goal and this big thing, because people then get to diamond and then they're like, well, now what? Like, they think diamond is the end goal, and it's not the case whatsoever. It's on the beginning of the roadmap. So I want you guys to decide, do you want this business? Do you want to be diamond? That's up to you. But diamond is a stepping stone to the next thing, because you can hit diamond and your income's not going to change that much. Yes, you get different types of recognition, you get different types of rewards, you get to earn more on your team cycle bonus, which is going to lead to all those things. And it's the first step on that map. So make the choice today. Draw your line in the sand and say, am I doing this or am I not? Like, here's what our weeks look like. Monday, listen to the national wake up call. Tuesday, team calls. Every day, work your business. Now, whether that's 4 days a week, 5 days a week, I definitely recommend taking at least a day or 2 off. Now, when I was working full time, I did work the weekends like in bigger chunks, because that's when I had larger chunks of time to work my business. Now that I work full time, I don't work weekends at all. Like, you figure out what works for your schedule. I was with Courtney H the other day, and we were talking about her schedule and just how on longer nursing days she doesn't work when she has like a 12 or 13 hour shift. But then on days where she has a 6-hour shift, here's what she can do. And on days that she doesn't work at all, here's what she can do. Like, I really recommend breaking your business down by weeks. And I've talked to a lot of you on the one-on-one calls about this. And then I saw you all messaging in Voxer. So I was like, good, you listened. But we talked about your weekly invite goal. And if you're pushing for diamond, that should honestly be no less than 50, but really aiming for 100. But having that minimum weekly invite goal. And I talked to a lot of you about, I'm doing it in a 1-day chunk right now. And yeah, I'm testing it out. I've never done it like this before. And if you really if you think you need to work on consistency, then don't do it that way. But I would rather you do it all in 1 day than not do it at all, if that's what's holding you back. But draw your line in the sand, make diamond a non-negotiable for yourself so you can get to that next level. What is diamond going to do for you? Courtney, can I use you as an example of what we talked about when I asked you what diamond meant to you? Do you want to just unmute and say what it meant to you?
Are you talking to me?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of Courtneys.
I know.
So really just being diamond means you're laying the foundation for your business. I know we talked about this in person, but when I first hit diamond, I thought that was like the big goal. So I kind of lost momentum after that, but really it's just the stepping stone, and you need that to build a solid foundation. So it's really like reassuring that you're going in the right direction, and just propels you even further.
Perfect. And she also shared, like, diamond for her, yes, it's like that next step, but it's also like a confidence booster. Like, all right, I'm diamond, now on to the next big thing, but breaking it down into that small chunk instead of being her long-term goal of her and Rusty's 5-year plan and where they want to move and what they want to do and where they want to travel and what types of jobs they want. That's an amazing why. And that's that why that we just talked about at the beginning. But knowing that that why comes at the end of this map, and maybe even farther, but you need to have that foundation and start to get there in the process and having those short-term goals. So what I want you to think about right now is that team builder goal with diamond and having at least one new emerald, but you're gonna need 2 emeralds to be diamond anyways, and 1,000 weak leg volume, which we'll get into that more on another call, but volume is important as well to make sure, like I was talking about, you can be diamond and not making any money if you don't have volume. But when you're working on bringing that volume up as well, which I love that it's in this roadmap, then you're going to be consistently raising your team cycle bonus, and that's your residual income. But what would, under your why, your perfect day why now, put team builder and write what that would mean to you. Maybe it's confidence. Maybe it's you're coming up with a team name when you hit diamond. I know Hannah and I have talked about that. Maybe you are going to reward yourself with a new pair of Nikes. I think I got Nikes I rewarded myself with Nikes for one goal I hit once. I forget. I bought an Apple Watch when our team hit, I think, 4 or 5 star. Like, you can reward yourself, like, and you'll get rewards from me too. Don't worry. I love spoiling you guys with this stuff, but whatever it is, maybe it's, I don't know, come up with your own why for why you want to be diamond and draw that line in the sand and have a deadline. Like Jade Simmons talked at Summit. Like, you can't just say, I want to do it, or I'll do it soon, or it'd be nice, or whatever. You need to have that deadline. And she had a cooler name for it. But you have to set that date and actually do it. The longer you prolong something, like I was on a mastermind call today and they're all having their girls push to diamond in 21 days. They're like, we used to do 6-week pushes, but that's literally way too long for diamond. Like, someone could be 1 star or 2 star in 6 weeks. Like, why would we do that? Like, people can get to diamond in 21 days. When you have that intensity and that focus towards the goal, you're more likely to actually achieve it than if you just put it farther off. So think of what that would mean to you and take a second to write it down. And then let's go to team leader. So that's where you're at least 1 star diamond. Now, to be totally honest, the easiest way to get to 1 star is by having your spouse account and getting that account to diamond. But what's even better is if you have a working coach under you who gets to diamond. And that's what you guys all need to start building and attracting. I'm going to be completely blunt and completely honest. Every single person on this call right now is my personally sponsored coach, and we don't have anyone under that. And that's not a good thing for anyone on our team. Like, we need Jalen to have working coaches on this call. We need Emily to have working coaches on this call. We need Hannah to have working coaches on this call if we want our team to really just blow up and expand, which benefits everyone. I know I talked to some of you about volume on our one-on-ones this past week, but the more volume the team has in general, the more money everyone makes. And I don't want to just talk about money on this call, but I'm relating it to your whys. Like, I was just talking to Nina earlier today, and we were talking about her kids going to college. Like, I want to set up a future and a foundation where, because Tyler and I have, Tyler, and now I, because we're married, have so much student loan debt, and we don't want that for our kids. So first, we need to pay off all the student loan debt that we do have, and I want to leave a legacy for my children where they don't have to stress and worry about that. Like, what is your why attached to these things? So start thinking about team leader and write a section for this now. And maybe it's that you'll have your own team, which, by the way, you're never abandoning Team Exceed the Dream, because I love you girls too much and we're one big team. But I can't wait for the day that you guys have 5 leaders on your team, 10 leaders on your team, 50 people on your team that we can all support and have that momentum, guys. The momentum that we have, just like I was talking about at the beginning, helps the entire team. and shows each other what's possible. So maybe you're really excited to get to team leader because that would mean you get to, one, go to new leader conference next year, which should be a huge goal for people. If you don't know what that is, look it up in the back office. We can talk about it another time. But new leader conference with Beachbody, you would walk across the stage at Summit. Maybe it's recognition based for you. Maybe it's, now I really can't give income goals here, but say it would be $500 a week. Like, I don't know exactly what each person would make at One Star, but say it's that. Like, what would that mean to you and your family? Or how many people would you be helping? Like, whatever your why is, I could give a million examples because everyone on this call is so different, but what would that mean to you? And if you don't understand this stuff, ask me in our one-on-one calls, but also look it up. There's a whole video that goes along with this that is a lot of information, but rewatch it a couple times, understand it, and then come to our one-on-one and ask questions, because there's TV and leadership points and ranks and everything, but just start by thinking what your why is. And then let's move to Premier. Now, I said Diamond's not the big goal, but 2-star is a really big goal to shoot for. Like, you should just bypass Diamond and be like, I really want to hit 2-star. The reasoning behind this is you get to open a second business center when you hit 2-star. So Beachbody basically lets you clone yourself. Imagine like a McDonald's franchise. You have one, it's running, it's up and successful, and then you go open another one, and it's still your business. Both of these are your stores. I think McDonald's is a franchise, whatever example you want to use, but they're both you, and you make money out of both of them. So 2-star is a really big deal because with the volume that we have on our team, all of you have a strong leg and all of you have a weak leg because you're getting volume from the whole team. You're pretty much going to double your income. Again, don't hold me to anything. Beachbody doesn't guarantee any level of income, whatever. Disclaimer statement, but you pretty much double your income when you open a second business center. And that's where a lot of people start making about $1,000 a week. Again, this different for everyone. You probably understand that by now. But for the sake of this graph, what would an extra $1,000 a week mean to you? And now that is with working coaches. That is with not just you working and not just you building to 2-star. You need working coaches there. But what would that mean to you? Would that mean you could quit a job you don't like? Would that mean you could go down to part-time hours? Would that mean you could pay off a bunch of debt with just your Beachbody income while you're still working full-time? Like, what would that mean to you? And what kind of team would that be? Like, visualize it and take a minute to write that down. Come on. Come here. Okay, and on to Elite. I took a screenshot of this, so Doug's face. Kaya Marie. I just let you in here. What do you want? Come here. Doug's face is kind of on it and covering up some of this stuff, but it's 105 leadership points, at least 2 new diamonds. You have to be at least 5-star in your business and have 5,000 team volume points. Oh my gosh, Kaya, 1 second. So start visual, but you guys know what Elite is. We're an Elite team last year. Like, so many of you had a role in that, and I want to strive for that with our team again this year, and I truly believe we can. We have half of a year left. Like, what would Elite mean to you? What would that goal mean to you? What would the income mean to you? Like, whatever you want to look at as your why, and kind of have that as, I can't say it's the end of your perfect day, because I don't know what that perfect day looks like to you. It's definitely not like travel the world at all times and whatever, but like, it's definitely on the way to that. And really just kind of tie all those whys together and take a look at what you can do at those different levels. Okay. Okay, So the next slide is just the video. So I'll make sure you guys all get this. Let me see if I can just post it in the chat right now. Oh, I'm not used to my Mac yet. Yeah, I'll share it later. But it's just the video going over that map that we just looked at. And then, geez, your why. This is what we just did. I just have a slide so you can really think about it for a second. We'll take a minute to unmute one person. Does anyone want to share a couple of those road mark mappers for yourself, and what that would do for you or your family?
So I'll share mine.
Okay.
So some of the ones that I wrote down were focused on like rewarding myself, and I've been doing house projects. And so what I thought of when I hit Premiere is that I would finish off my basement. Right now it's just concrete walls, but if I finished it off, not only would it have a better look for my workout space, but I could also turn it into my office instead of using one of my spare bedrooms as my office. And so it would be like it ended up being like my favorite place in the house, because one, I spend a lot of time down there now, but then it'll kind of like just look nicer and like just kind of have all of that fitness related and changing lives kind of thing, all in one space instead of like spread out.
I love that. And that would be super motivating to me, because we're moving in with an empty basement too, like just unfinished concrete, everything. Like, and I wait to redo that basement, but like we have to pay Tyler's debt off before we even think of doing that. So like a house project that big is huge, and I love that. Like that is a goal that will really motivate you for the right reasons and help so many people. But yeah, guys, just think about that, and please Voxer after all this, or in the team page, share what your whys are for some of those. Share what your big, hairy, scary team goals are for yourself and for our team and for you. Like, you have to attach the why behind this every single day, or you're not gonna work your business. Like, this business is honestly so simple. And I was just talking to another full-time coach today who she's about to have a baby any day now. And she's like, yeah, I'm like working full-time, and she works 2 hours a day on her business. And like, I'm working 4 right now, and I'm enjoying time with my family, and I'm also studying for other things, but like I could get it down to 2, and like, holy crap, a full-time income on 2 hours a day, which all of you can do on top of your full-time jobs. Maybe you're starting with a half hour, maybe you're starting with an hour, but like, you have to have the why behind it to even want to put that half hour in the first place, and to have that energy and to have that excitement. And so make sure you're having your why down. And I love the B100 journal, because you have to write your why in every day. And maybe that's a fitness or nutrition related goal, but I would also encourage you to write your coaching why in there too. Like, why are you waking up every day? And right now mine says, for my own energy and my own happiness, because again, it all goes back to energy. I am a happier, more productive, better person when I wake up early and work out and get my work started early. Like, that's like part of self-care for me, is like doing what I say I'm gonna do. Like, self-care can be like bubble baths and bath bombs and nails and blah, 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 which it is. But self-care can also mean doing what you said you were going to do before. And then you have to initial it, like, and all these things, and pick an accountability partner, like whatever you need. But recognize that this business is a gift and an opportunity. One, why wouldn't you want to share that with others? Get in the best shape of your life, time freedom, financial freedom, like the healthiest they've ever been, feeling confident, good in their own skin, getting out of depression, like whatever it may be, we have a gift. And then write that down every morning, and take little things that motivate you and play them in your ear, and listen to podcasts and listen to positive things. And then remember what your why is and go after that. So that's that section of the team call. But I want to know who's drawing their line in the sand, who wants to be diamond, who wants to be 2-star, what you want to do. Like, post it in the team page after this. I would say email me, and you can email me if it's something personal, but like, share it with everyone. Hold yourself more accountable. Like, we are a team for a reason. Like, as soon as someone gets fired up, everyone gets fired up. And that's the beauty of being on this team. I freaking love it. Like, I literally love every single person on this call right now. Like, I'm just scrolling down through it and I'm like, oh, I'm so excited for this girl and I'm so excited for this one. And like, we have a pretty badass team. Like, I just have to say. Okay. Your team call. Oh my gosh, this slideshow. Where'd my team calls go? Okay. Team calls. So I can X out of this now because the slides are so beautiful. Team calls right now, we obviously for like 3 years have had team call Tuesdays. But then lately in this past couple months, we added some of the Monday night calls where we have once a month, we have Jumpstart Your Business for any new coach, which we'll keep doing because I want you guys to get new coaches and then they can plug into this call, and it's all about that duplication and plugging them into what we already have. And then every other Monday is the Dream Builders call where you had to be Emerald or above and pushing for Diamond to be in those calls. And they've been going really well. I mean, you guys can give me your feedback, but I think you guys have liked them. And then we have our Tuesday. What is that, Bridget? She doesn't know. She looks like an alien. You're like on ET or something. There it goes. I can't hear you. You're muted. Looks like she was trying to talk. Anyways, we have our Tuesday night team calls. Now, I want you girls to be able to work on your business as much as you can. So my thoughts lately, and you guys can share what works for you, but I really would prefer to go to one night a week, not the Monday and Tuesdays, because that's a lot of time. Like when I was working full time, I didn't want to be on a call 2 nights a week. I still don't want to be on a call 2 nights a week. I love you girls more than life itself, but we all have family time. We all have priorities and other things. I would rather, and I'm really glad we have a lot of you on tonight, but there are weeks where honestly it's defeating for me when I see like 3 people show up, when I always take my time out and I want to provide the best value for you girls, but I would rather do it 1 night a week and like hype up that call, like keep it to the 1 night a week, same time every week. We know when it is, everyone gets on, we have amazing guest speakers, and some of the time we'll still be dream builders, but my thought is possibly switching it to Mondays, which will be really weird to not say team call Tuesday, but switching it to Mondays during when our other calls normally are. So doing the dream builders every other week and a guest speaker every other week, which would actually push it back an hour earlier, which is a little hard for the West Coast mountain girls, but a lot better for the Eastern girls. And now that I'm here on the East Coast, I'm like, holy shit, I need to go to bed. Jay has me waking up at 4:30 in the morning. But what does everyone think of let's freaking hype up Monday nights? And it would be at 8 p.m. Eastern time, 6 Mountain time. No one in this team is even on the West Coast, right? Like, Emily, you're in Mountain time. You live with me. No one is on West time, which would be like 5 p.m., which would be hard. I mean, well, I'm sure we'll get girls and we can reevaluate when we do, but right now we're a pretty like Mountain and East and Central based team. So what's people saying? Jesse can't be on till 8:30. What's everyone else think? Just nod your heads. You don't have to type in the Courtney's eyeballs are like okay, I think we'll switch to that and we'll have, don't tell Michelle or Nina, but I'm just gonna have all of you get on the Dream Builders calls because you're all around the same rank right now. Like if you're not Emerald, get to Emerald and get on those calls, but it will be a guest speaker, a Dream Builders call, which really is just a mastermind. You're hearing from either me, Nina, or Michelle. We unmute more, we strategize, we talk together. They're really great calls. And then every other week will be guest speaker. So guest speaker mastermind, guest speaker mastermind. And I really want to get, we'll just switch next week, Stephanie, because Hannah's actually speaking on Dream Builders next week. Where'd she go? There she is. So that would be our first one. So we would have Hannah as our like guest speaker, which is really our Dream Builders call. And then I'll go get guest speakers not from our team for the guest speaker calls, because I think the power of hearing other people's stories is so huge. But guys, if we do this, really switch and just make it a priority. I can do a little thing in the team page to see and vote what time it will actually be, just to make sure we can fit the most schedules as possible. But like, hype it up. And guys, I would love to start inviting our clients to these calls too. I know some of them are really coaching specific, but like, if you have a client that wants to jump on and just see what our community is like this is my favorite thing. Like, seeing all of these faces, and we're all around the US, which by the way, I'm gonna take a quick Instagram before I forget. Everyone, wave, ready? I'm gonna take a video. 1, 2, 3. So cute. Like, I freaking love this stuff. Okay, so let's fill these calls every week, like 100 little squares, and really just be a part of something bigger than ourselves, because this team is so much about community. And again, being on these calls live is really going to help your business, and we'll line up lots of great guest speakers for you and a lot of good content and value. The last thing I was going to talk about is our next team retreat. A couple of you have been around for our Colorado retreat, our Utah retreat. They've been so much fun. And I'm going to do this one a little differently. I actually talked to a lot of you at Summit about it. So it's not even set in stone yet, because here's the thing. Tyler and I just got married. We're buying a house. We have student loans, guys. I'm like in financial whatever, like all the rest of you. Like, the retreat money comes out of my personal money. This is not like Beachbody, like whatever. Like, retreats are on the individual, which is 100% totally fine, but we need to accomplish goals as a team to be able to do these retreats, which is what I want to do. Like, I told all of you guys at Summit, like, just when can we see each other again? We had so much fun at Summit, and I think our team, I'm just looking around at everyone again, our team is really close knit, and when we get together, we're all exactly the same people, which is kind of scary, but really fun at the same time. And I don't know, I think Stephanie is a great example of it. Like, Stephanie came and met us Saturday night, like wasn't even coming to Summit, moved to India, come meet us, and you fit in immediately. Like, I don't know, what was that like? I'm gonna unmute you, Stephanie, and you can share like what that was like for you.
All right, can y'all hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it was really fun. Part of me was a little like nervous, not gonna lie, just because I had just moved here and I'm like, I don't know anybody. I had just decided to start the coaching business, so I'm like, oh God, like.
And you were just a client too, like only a
month,
or like 3 weeks before that.
Yes, so I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And I felt uncomfortable just because it was so new to me, but I know that I needed to push myself. And so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go. Like, what are the chances that I just moved here and like, there's a number of you here, right? Like, this is my opportunity to meet you all in person. And so I was like, I'm just going to go for it. And so I just drove down there for dinner. And I really wish that I could have made it to Summit, but just financially and everything and moving at the, like a week prior was just not
missing ahead of time.
Yeah. So, but now I know, and it got me really, really, really pumped up to get started, and to get involved and put the energy out there, like on Voxer and just on Facebook and stuff like that, and looking forward to Summit next year. So I thought it was really awesome that I felt super welcomed when I met you all, and looking forward to like, okay, this is what it could be for me. So yeah.
I love that. Thank you. But same thing with our Colorado retreat. The first time we all met each other really in person, like I know Jalen. If you don't know, me and Jalen are cousins and we live like 3 minutes down the road from each other when I'm in Pennsylvania. And I had met Jessie once, but only for a dinner. Like, she was in Denver and I drove to Denver to meet her for dinner, and like that was it. I had met Courtney once, but like none of them all met each other. Brittany and Amber were there. We didn't meet each other ever before that. And we all got there and we were just like, holy shit, we're all the same person. Like, what is going on? It was the craziest thing. We clicked immediately. We did it with another team, and they were not the nicest people, and we were all like, we're all nice, and they're not. And it was so fun, and I want that again. And like, I just absolutely love seeing you guys in person. So what I want to do is, when we hit 10-star as a team, which I believe 120% of the bones in my body, whatever, I just got that saying wrong. You guys just, you know me, you know, I just say shit that comes out of my mouth. But I know we can do it. Like I talked about on this call, Diamond is just a decision. Diamond is literally 8 people and 2 of them being Emerald. So 12 total people. Like every single one of you could hit Diamond in this month. So I'm going to set a deadline. I need to really look at my calendar. I didn't get a chance to do that today, but I'll pick something. Okay, 11 people on this call, plus my second CBC, Tyler, and my dad, which I've built them all to Diamond before too. I prefer not to build my dad's account, but it helps my income as well, because it's whatever. I control his account. You can control 2 accounts. So like I pay for his account, the income comes to my account. If you don't know that, you have to fill out paperwork, but it's possible. Like, and I recommend it absolutely for a spouse. And if you don't have a spouse, a parent or whatever you want it to be, but you can control 2 accounts. Now we can talk one-on-one, the pros, cons, there's not many cons, but whatever you want to do with that. But yes, there's 11 people on this call, but some of you are in my second CBC, some of you are in Tyler's account. I'm counting you guys. Like, just because you're in different accounts, it doesn't mean anything. Like, I want every single one of you to be Diamond. So we'll have to figure it all out, but as soon as one of you hits Diamond, is literally like a ripple effect. That's what we did last year when it was our team pushing to 5-star. Brittany hit it, and then Jesse hit it, and then Courtney hit it, and then Jalen hit it, all within like a month and a half of each other, because our team momentum was there, because we were all talking daily in the message threads. Like, so I will look at my calendar tonight and pick a date that makes sense for us all to push together, and just let me know if you're in. If you listen to this call and you're like, I don't want any of that freedom or fun or team stuff, then you don't have to, but I think everyone on this call is pretty into it. I've been on calls where I'm like, yeah, I don't think people are, but I look around at all of you, and I want all of you at this retreat. Like, we will do the retreat. I'll figure out a way to do the retreat, even if we don't hit 10-star technically, but we have 10 of you as Diamonds on the team, like wherever you're placed, like we will figure something out. It would be really cool to hit 10-star as a team and keep hitting elite again and all these milestones to get there. But again, I don't want that for me. I want it because it means you're on your roadmap to your next goal. You're on your roadmap to team leader. You're on your roadmap to premier. You're on your roadmap to elite, and that big why that you have. And it all starts with the why, guys. Like, it literally all starts with that. So I will look at my calendar, and then what we'll do is, because we would all have to hold Diamond, you have to hold for 6 weeks for it to be official, if you didn't know that, in Beachbody's system. So we would all hold for 6 weeks and beyond together. We're not holding for 6 weeks and then just dropping in whatever. Like, you want to continue that to 2-star, to 5-star, to your own 10-star. Like, you need working coaches to hit these goals. So maybe another call we can just talk about inviting to the coaching opportunity if you guys would like that. But what was I saying before that? I was reading the city state comment. Where was I going? You hitting your goals. It's okay, Hannah. I had a thought going to that. Oh.
You said something about pushing past 6 weeks.
Yes, thank you. So we would have to hold for at least 6 weeks, and then you guys would never drop again. Like, I don't want to jinx myself, knock on wood, but once I hit Diamond, I've never dropped, because I was always, now I have dropped from 5-star, I have dropped from 3-star. Like, you're going to drop rank in your business. I promise you that at some point. It's a normal thing that happens. But what if you didn't? Like, what if you just kept going? Trina Gray is 15-star and has never dropped her 15-star. That's really, really incredible. But we would all hold for at least 6 weeks more. And then what would happen is we would plan this retreat. So I'm not even like, this is not a this year retreat, guys. It's already August. Except I don't have a house, like if we would have it in Colorado, like I'm living in my parents right now, like we could vote on, I want this to be your retreat, not my retreat. Like this is a team retreat. We can vote on where we want to have it. And I want to set all these things up so we know what we're working towards. I know a lot of us talked about going back out to Colorado because it was really fun and it's a mountain town and we can stay at my new house for free. So that would take one cost out of it for everyone. Or we talked about going down towards Hannah's neck of the woods in Florida and doing a beach retreat. So we can vote on where we want to go. I have no preference. I want you guys to enjoy it. I want you to like it. And I want it to be something you want to push for. And we'll set a date. So it will probably be sometime in September or October where we all have to be holding this together. Really, you should be hitting it in August and working towards those 1 and 2 and 3 star goals. And then we would have this retreat because I'm not going to do it around Thanksgiving or Christmas. Like that's all family time. We would have this retreat in like January or February then, but you would qualify for it in September or October, whatever date we pick. So you already know you don't have to rush to buy plane tickets. Like we all hit this goal together and we go on this trip together and you're not planning last minute. And then it's like the snowy, miserable time of the year and we can go somewhere fun and warm and all hang out together when there's not a lot of things planned around that time. Because I don't want to do it in June and July when we have summit. Like I really think that January, February timeframe would be perfect, but we would all hit it together now and have that goal to work towards. Like I'm doing this, guys, because I want you to hit your whys and your reasons, but I've personally seen from our team that when we work towards something together, like we don't go on this trip if not 10 of us together combined or Diamond. Like, so if I'm at Diamond and I know Jay's not, like, don't you think we're all going to be encouraging her and helping her and not in like a pushy, like, oh, Jalen's holding us back. We would never do that. But we're all going to be pushing, encouraging each other, and we're all around the same spots. Like, I need to get Tyler's account back to Diamond. So like, I'm doing this right with you guys and we would all push towards this together. So how does that sound to everyone? Does anyone have any questions? I was going to keep tonight shorter and you know that never happens. But does anyone have anything? Even if you're just excited, you can unmute and tell me that because that's always fun.
I'll share like real quick. I think it was Nina. She like reached out to me and asked me to like share on the call next week. And because July was it went well. But now that like school is starting and stuff, I'm like, oh no, I'm here. Like I'm at the point that like I was afraid of because I'm like, I have to be a good teacher and I'm asked to like speak on this call next week. And I'm like, so like, I think it's good though, because it's like being on this call with all of you is like, I have to show up. Like I have 5 coworkers that are pressing play before school because they know I'm pressing play. So I'm like, when my alarm goes off, it's like, Hannah, get out of bed because there's 5 other teachers that are out there pressing play too because I told them that I was pressing play. Mm-hmm. And they like come at like literally my one person, my like door is outside my classroom and she like knocked on it and she like gave me a flex and it was so like hilarious. But I don't know, I just had to share that because I was very nervous getting here to this point where I am like right now in the present moment. It's like I have to make lesson plans and I have a long to-do list with school stuff, but then it's like I need to do this too because I have people under me and I know I need to like keep growing as a person with this. So I'm just kind of like feeling all the feels right now because I'm like nervous and excited, but also like terrified at the same time. So.
Well, and just know too, like you can absolutely do this. I forget who I was talking to. It could have been Jalen or Nina or someone else. But guys, I got the same amount of work done pretty much. I do a little more team leader stuff now. But when I was working full-time and in grad school full-time, like you can do this. You set aside an hour a day. Maybe it's a half hour in the morning and a half hour at night. When you are intentional with your time, you're going to get shit done. Like busy people get shit done. Lazy people don't. Like literally, I'm studying for my personal training test and doing other things because I need to be busy again. I succeed more in this business and get more done when I have other things to go to. Maybe I think it was Courtney that I was telling this to. Like, I literally have been taking Kaya for hour walks because I need to have structure in my day. Like, seriously, use working a full-time job right now to your advantage, because you can show, like, I'm doing this and I'm doing that and I'm working and this is extra income. Like, show your little wins. Kate Schultes or Morgan or whatever her last name is, her post that she uses all the time is when she was a teacher and doing coaching, when she first started, it was like her first month, she could buy the bigger bag of dog food instead of the smaller bag because they finally had enough money in their bank account to do that. Like, maybe you're not at that spot, but whatever your small win is, share it. Maybe you bought groceries for the week. Maybe your income for the month paid part of your mortgage. Like, whatever it is, share those wins, because you're so relatable right now of people also working full-time jobs. And I promise you, just like, don't even say you're busy anymore. Like, start saying busy people get shit done. Like, turn any negative attitude of I don't have time, or I'm like, the overwhelm word is banned from our team. Like, we'll call it the O word and make it awkward and everything. But the overwhelm is the O word. Like, I don't want to hear it. Like, busy people get shit done. Make that your new mantra. I'm busy and I get shit done. Like, and you will be more successful. You will be more relatable. You will be everything because your energy is there. Like, you're not going to have time to scroll Instagram or like do negative self-talk if you're just busy doing your work and living your best life, right? Okay, so we are officially almost at 10 o'clock. Does anyone have any questions or anything I can answer real quick before we hop off? Jesse says the book Let Your Mind Run is a great one about switching negative self-talk to positive. I love that. You did tell us about that before, and I meant to buy it, and I didn't. Do you recommend reading or Audible?
Why am I typing when I can talk? I read it. I really liked reading it. I don't know what her voice is like, but I really enjoyed reading it.
Okay. And guys, if you don't know this too, on Audible, you can always play a sample, and sometimes I'll do that. And if it's like a really old man talking in a slow voice, I'm like, not listening to that one. I'll read it. But if it's like someone energetic, then I'll listen to it. Okay, guys, it is 10 o'clock. I'm going to bed. We will switch to Monday team calls next week. Get hyped. Be there. Push for your goals. I want to see your whys. Post it in the team page. Post it in the Boxer thread. Like, post it on sticky notes. Post it everywhere. And make your mantra for the week, busy people get shit done. And I'll talk to you guys next week. Love you guys. See you at the retreat.